looks to be relatively similar. Looks like KAA traded out one Ohio for a Kremlin. They traded out a Des Moines for a Salem. And, they traded out a destroyer. Now they have a Smolensk, two Stalingrads, a Petro, a Nevsky, and then two DPS cruisers. Much more, I want to say, aggressive, less destroyer-centric lineup coming in from KIA.
Yeah, very interesting. Over on FINS, we have a similar setup to what we saw before. Actually, I do believe it's quite similar. Yamato Shikishima, double Des Moines, double Stalin with the triple DD lineup. Triple DD is going to allow them cap pressure. We'll see if they're a little more aggressive, maybe with their Bravo cap push. And they are spilling out in,
This is
not
interesting.
quite the same way as they did last time. We've got the Holland Des Moines Stalin heading over to C, but our other Des Moines Stalin Shiki are heading Bravo C.
That's interesting. So I think we're going to see something spicy happen right away here, because we got the annoying Italian in the Des Moines from KIA moving really aggressively up here to the center to contest B, possibly just to put radar pressure on. We'll see if he gets Yamato'd, because looks like the Yamato of FINS will be in a position shortly to take him on head on if he actually gets lit. The Smolensk of Mad Dog also moving, looks like towards A. Hard to say exactly. He's going to have a Des Moines, an Ohio, and a Stalingrad over on the A side versus Kremlin, Petro, Stalin, Salem, Nevsky on the C side. But it looks like the Stalin of Anton Nizhny also taking an aggressive central position. That should be a lot of radar covering B.
Man, color me confused. Thar heading over to A to potentially play around with that cap. We've got a Gearing drawing a huge smoke line. Spike Pigeon dropping a smoke to keep their crazy-ass super move dark. And B1 Mantis turning out, taking a nice shot across the side as both the Yamato and the Shikishima sail in formation. No crossfire for the battleships. They're moving definitely to that C cap for, I would assume, one hell of a surprise. But now that their smoke is down out of that Gearing, they don't have any more smoke. So depending on how this goes, they might get this whole fleet spotted if that Salem is able to take an open water position and stare them down.
Now, I'm gonna throw this out there, because fire is coming in, obviously, from the annoying Italian here. He's firing HE at the Des Moines of Clarion Call. The Holland of Winterman gonna go out wide. He's gonna be throwing rack after rack after rack of torpedo into the Kremlin, Nevsky, and Salem, and the Petropavlovsk of KIA. This is very interesting. They are all or nothing on the seaside. It will be interesting to see if they... Oh, huge hit on the Stalingrad of Trip G Navy coming in from the Kremlin of KIA. Just a giant chunk as he's still getting shot down with AP from the annoying Italian in B. Big hit there, not maybe realizing that Stalingrad's so weak from the side, need to go out wide if they're going to take an aggressive push like that. We'll see if that's decisive.
Yeah, not only weak from the side, but detected from orbit. I mean, to drive it so close right after he makes it past that smoke line, how could he not be seen by a Kremlin Nevsky, even if they're 15, 20-some kilometers away? It's a Stalingrad, and suitably he pays for that mistake. In the middle, however, Anton Nizhny making one hell of a cheeky little play here, rounding the corner, pointing his nose at a Shikishima, but showing a lot of side for anybody that can lob that island. But they have no time to stop for this Stalingrad's antics. FINS is taking C.
They are taking C. However, they are blocked by the Salem, who is just going to sit there and deny as long as he can, as FINS now finally coming around to the corner here. And we'll see, it looks as though their push is being somewhat blunted by the fact that there is, in fact, a Kremlin there. And I don't think anyone actually wants to come around the corner on this Salem. Very high DPM with AP from a Salem. So we'll see if when they do, if he's able to just punish somebody. But they are making this move. 4.
Holy ouch.
Oof.
Yamato, just half of his health gets erased. Shikishima is looking to at least try to contain B for a moment. FINS Jonah JR trying to contain Bravo, and there's definitely some oof from that Salem. Des Moines, is he going to try to just ram the Salem to get this guy off of him? Nope.
Oh,
He's just going to take more damage. Salem with a super heal being incredibly hard to kill, but slowly being drugged down, and C has been cleared. Shikishima bugging out of his containment position right now, and I'm assuming Bravo's going to come right in after him, daring super wide, hoping to contain, nobody following him.
They certainly are. This Shikishima now of Jonah JR being well, forced into that zit position, as we called it last time, between C and
Oh,
B, due to a Des Moines and a Stalingrad literally coming in on his side. I think I appreciate the aggressive push of FINS around this side, but KIA is just too good to not pass up the opportunity to take A, take B, and then swing right in to get those side shots, which obviously we saw. As I think we need MVP of this match to go to get down Mr. President Salem. Who is that? Mr. Medical Man. Mr. Medical Man. Good lord. In the Salem
so
there.
with FINS pushing to take C, they're simply walking into a crossfire as KI is now taking central position, having capped A and capped B, and moving at all past C just walks them into a situation where, do you point at the Kremlin? Do you point at B? Either way, you die. And sure enough, we've seen several deaths as a result of that.
Yeah.
KIA now pushing aggressively out of B with a Shikishima trapped in that little alleyway, taking a good chunk out of the Stalin as he continues forward. Holland taking Yamato taking shots. Both of Finn's battleships are pretty beat up, with the Stalin kind of stuck out there.
Oh, that was a great big white bar.
Oh yes, this is painful.
Looks like Anton Nizhny almost going for the ram just out of spite on a nearly dead Shikishima. Would have been a flex and a half to do that when it's clear that you've already won here. I would have liked to see. I like the aggressive play of FINS. I would have liked to see them basically put that Shikishima in the G6 spot, like line him up right there to prevent anything from coming into the B cap. If you're going to take an aggressive push around one side like that, you must guard your flank so that these ships like the Des Moines and the Stalingrad can't pop into B and then just sit nose in, broadsiding you the entire time. So for anyone watching thinking of doing a YOLO strat in the vein of FINS here, you need to make sure you get your caps. Otherwise, ironically, you may get popped like the Germans at Stalingrad in World War II, where you overstretch and get flanked.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna assume that after that first map did not go FINS' way, they decided, well, KIA is a fairly known clan. Maybe we'll just go for a surprise play, and they definitely committed to it. They hardline pushed at C, but KIA being the KIA that we know, they were able to capitalize on it. Ohio taking multiple torps, and as you were mentioning, trying to keep them contained. They had a Shikishima there to try and do it, but he didn't have a destroyer to help him. He was alone, and unfortunately, he had to bug out. He just couldn't stay there, which allowed them to get the wrap, which allowed them to get the crossfire, and cheeky play as it was, it just did not work out for FINS.
Yep.
Good attempt, though.
Absolutely. I want to say that I wish that if they sent the single gearing over to the A cap basically as a delaying action, which is a good call. It's a good call when you've got 3 destroyers to send at least one to use torpedo pressure and spotting pressure to try and keep the opposing team from feeling like they can just rush around into the empty void left by at A by the fact that FINS really sent no one over there. I would have liked to see the gearing go over instead, as the gearing's torpedo pressure is much stronger than a daring, as the daring cannot fire its torpedoes outside of 12-kilometer radar range. So I feel like perhaps the daring and the Holland on the C side functioning as flanking pressure, leaving the gearing on the A side to provide essentially torpedo deterrence. I feel like that may have been the better way to go rather than a lonely daring.
I have to agree with that. Maybe if they'd actually sent both the daring and the gearing for a double torp threat for the folks that were moving from A to B, while they had their Holland out wide, spotting the Salem, potentially chucking torps, maybe getting the Salem to move. I could definitely see that. Unfortunately, it was a novelty play, and a novelty play that did not work out as KIA was able to seize the victory. Congrats to KIA.
All right, well, that sets us up for winner killed in action, which I believe, if we go back to the best of 3 overlay, that should show us as the winner of this section. This is best of 3, right, Askans?
Yes, I do believe best of 3. So KIA has taken it. If we're able to find maybe another game to cast in the meantime, that would be fun.
I think
Otherwise,